Moments later, President Obama took to the briefing room. He called for calm, but look at the pictures at that moment. Clearly, the protesters were not hearing the president.
What we need to do is to understand them and figure out how do we make more progress. And that can be done. That won't be done by throwing bottles. That won't be done by smashing car windows. That won't be done by using this as an excuse to vandalize property, and it certainly won't be done by hurting anybody. So to those in Ferguson, there are ways of channeling your concerns constructively, and there are ways of channeling your concerns destructively.
Between his statement and a bit of question and answer, the president speaking for 9 minutes. Mike Tobin out all night, back in this morning, the middle of it all as it unfolded. Mike, you were in the crowds last night. What did you experience?
Well, it was pretty hectic. You talk about people channeling their concerns destructively. Well, that was going on last night, and here's an example of the aftermath. This is one of the strip malls left behind, a nail salon, a different kind of salon, a tax service. I don't know what anyone would have to gain by robbing the inside of a tax service. As you look inside here, the restaurants, the laundromat. This is an example of one of the beauty salons that was set fire last night, burnt right to the ground. As we head back, if you walk with me for a bit, I can give you a better perspective. Across the street, that's the mobile gas station that was looted last night. And as we look further, you're looking now south onto West Florissant Avenue. About a mile down there is Canfield Drive, where Michael Brown was shot. That's where the largest concentration of gunfire was last night. You see a lot of the smoke coming out from Florissant Avenue. Just about every business, as we walked up that street last night, had some kind of fire burning in it. It was either entirely engulfed in flames or there was smoke pouring out of the building. And what we didn't see last night was any fire crews. Either it was too dangerous for the fire crews to get in, or they're simply overwhelmed with the number of structures that were burning last night. The looting ran rampant to the wee small hours of the night until police finally, as we see this morning, have the streets and blocked off from one side to the other. Bill?
Mike, it's Martha. Just taking a look at what you have been watching throughout the course of this evening. And one of the questions that kept coming up was, where's the National Guard? We had heard so much about the preparation. The governor was criticized for calling in the National Guard ahead of this. But their presence was not felt, at least in what we could see on television last night.
We didn't see a large presence of the National Guard, but keep in mind the role the National Guard was intended to play. A lot of times they do a lot of the rudimentary jobs. They'll come and they'll work traffic, freeing up the police officers to do some of the more aggressive things for which they were trained, like the tactical operations. So you may very well see the National Guard in more of a backup role, and you'll see the police officers out front, and that's what we did see, was the police officers and the big tactical teams out front, Martha.
All right.
You know, Mike, Darren Wilson has spoken to a degree in the sense that they put out his own testimony that was given to the grand jury. What is next for him, Mike?
Well, I would imagine his priority right now is very far away from here. He has got a baby on the way with his new wife, Barbara. He was married on October the 24th. And throughout this process, those two have been expecting a child. He's spent a lot of the process in this area, not moving very far away, but still trying to stay out of the public eye, still trying to avoid any attention. But he's got a lot going on. In addition to all of this, they've got a baby on the way.
Mike, thank you. We will be back with you throughout the morning. Mike Tobin there live in the streets of Ferguson with us again today.